she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Give me all you got, don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't run me. Bring me down, your love is too high. Bring me down, can't run me. Bring me down, I said, take it down. Bring me down, can't run me. Bring me down, your love is too high. Bring me down, can't run me. Bring me down, I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't run me. Bring me down, your love is too high. Bring me down, can't run me. Bring me down, I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Woohoo!
All right, girlfriends.
Great job, ladies.
Thank you.
Yes, you can have a cracker. You can have a cracker. Girlfriends, awesome job. Heck of a job. Heck of a job. All right. Kels, I don't know what happened. I think with all the dancing. Whoa.
Thank you.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody.
Happy
Welcome.
Saturday.
Happy Saturday. It feels, it's like, it feels good to be a Saturday.
Yeah.
It's been a good week. It's
Made
been
it
a long
through
week.
another work week. Maybe you're back at work. Maybe you're working from home still.
I think everybody's back to work at some point, actually.
I mean, they're
We're
working,
working.
but
We're
I don't
working.
think everyone's at work.
Absolutely. We're at work.
We're at work. We've been.
Welcome, guys. We've had an incredible couple of weeks. We've missed you.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 2 weeks since our last VT, virtual tasting. Man, we missed you last weekend. Seriously, like on Saturday, we had a great little Saturday last week. But yeah, we definitely missed doing this, and we're so glad to be back and hanging out with all our friends. And I saw some some of you guys today at the winery. Again, we're back up in the, wait, hold on.
What?
We need some wine in our glass.
I know.
Yeah.
Y'all, pour this Malbec Rosé. Today's
It's a wine
Malbec
glass.
day. Malbec Masterclass. So pour your Malbec Rosé.
As you can see, we're back upstairs in the upstairs in our tasting room. We're actually in the conference room right now because
We're open.
we're open. That's right. We're only open at half capacity or so, which is
So we're open.
yeah. We're so blessed to be open right now. Our 69 families. We're super glad that our 69 families are covered and taken care of. We just finished harvest. OMG.
He's finally officially, I say finally done, but it actually was a really quick, shortened harvest this year. Everything happened all at once, whereas last year started mid-July, we finished early mid-October.
Mhm.
This year, everything was done on this Monday.
Yeah.
Which is really early.
Pretty killer. Hey guys, also if you're tell us if you're new, especially tell us where you're joining from. We want to hear it. Welcome Carrie, welcome Katharine from San Antonio. Jessica Graham, welcome. Chris Lillis. Whoop! Oh, that's what I'm talking about. You see, I did the J Hill whistle when I did that. My new maroon ball cap. Courtesy of William Chris. Adele, good to see you. Jennifer, my girl, so good to see you. Thank you so much for.
And Jennifer, I owed you guys an email back. You and Alan sent in a really awesome picture of Morbedra Thursday to me. Glad y'all were enjoying our wine on Thursday also.
Chris, welcome. Cheryl Green from South Austin, welcome. Kimberly Brown, hello. Sharon's, did you say that? Sharon?
Where are you? Oh.
Sharon? It's Sharon.
Yeah.
Welcome. Sarah Hart, welcome. Meredith, welcome. It's so good to see everybody. Man, I tell you what, we got a really fun, interesting. We're gonna get a little wine nerdy today.
You may see in front of us, we typically only have 2 glasses. We actually have 4 glasses for all 4 wines today. Because they're all Malbecs, we really want to be able to go back and compare and contrast. So now's a good time if you have 4 glasses that you can go grab. Go ahead and do that so that you can also go back and forth between all of them.
It's not a have to thing.
No, but it's fun. Since we're getting nerdy, you can do it too.
Well, we were gonna have a no dump Saturday. We're still gonna have a no dump Saturday.
We don't have a dump bucket, so we really have no choice.
But we also have 4 glasses.
We don't have to finish it. We're still not dumping. Even if we don't finish, we're not
That's
dumping.
right. But I want to welcome, or give a heads up, we've got a really special guest on today, Kelsey Renee. She has been part of our company for about 2 months now. If you haven't been a part of our, if you're not part of our wine club, if you haven't been to a release party yet, she has just taken the bull by the horn. She's a sommelier or a WSET certified.
Level 2,
right.
CMS.
Pretty awesome.
And WSET level 3.
And she's
Which is awesome.
working on double.
Sorry, next month she'll be 3.
Yes. But she has done a really great comparative tasting program. She's setting up a bunch more education. I think she's definitely quickly becoming a leader in our tasting room. And she is so excited about this opportunity to talk about Malbec today and educate you guys on a little bit about the varieties. We snagged her from Hye Street. There's no partnership there. Hye Street is spelled differently.
And what is Hye Street?
Hye Street's a really great wine bar. It's run by Scott Oda, a really great wine professional.
Where is it?
In the Pearl.
It's in San Antonio.
You've been there.
Well, I know, but these people don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to help you get the background.
Thank you. Great.
I asked you all these questions.
You knew this. But no, great. Those guys run such an awesome wine program. If you live in San Antonio and haven't been to the street, I highly recommend it. They're doing a great job. But it's so cool that Kelsey wanted to get more experience with a producer, so she came and joined our team. And kind of interesting timing, but nonetheless, we are so glad to have her.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Do we want to bring her on and say hi to her real quick?
yeah, absolutely. Kelsey, are you there?
Yes.
Hello.
Thank you for having me. And hi to everybody. I wish y'all could all be here, but I look forward to meeting everybody as you come into William Chris, I can be here to take care of you and answer any wine questions you have.
Absolutely.
Well,
So
go ahead. Sorry.
I'm a certified sommelier through the Court of Master Sommeliers on level 2, and then I'm testing next month for my W3, my WSET level 3.
Well, and to all our fans out there, you can always call in. We have, I think now probably 23, 24 WSET or CSW equivalent certified folks. We almost always have somebody available via phone. If you have wine pairing questions, you can always email us as well. We have a ton of wine professionals on staff ready to go to help you with your wine selections. Whether you're buying wine, whether you have our wine in your cellar and you're wanting to pair it with something, or whether you're deciding like when to drink this wine, all the above. Our people, our team, our tribe is always available to help you out, and folks like Kelsey are just ready and waiting, which is pretty exciting. I never thought that we would be able to accomplish this, starting 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, but now to see well over half of our staff going down this wine education pathway, it is truly changing the Texas Hill Country. It's really changing our community to have wine professionals rather than just people that work at a tasting room. And it empowers our team. It builds our team up. We're also improving our industry too, because we're just starting to offer classes coming up in the next few months to other wine teams around the Hill Country who can come in and also be a part of our wine education class, because we're also opening up a testing center here. That's the plan in the next couple of months. So stay tuned. We're also looking at working with our fans to potentially open up a little bit more of a public wine school here to study wine. So
Awesome.
Lots of fun stuff.
Yeah, so we'll bring Kelsey back in to talk about the second wine we're going to drink for Lost Draw Malbec. But for now, Chris, let's talk about this.
Kelsey, don't drink all those wines in front of you until we come back to you.
I'm really trying not to, I promise.
That sounds good. Sounds good. All right.
Alright, let's talk about the.
Scott, no dumb Saturday. That's what I'm talking
I like
about.
Scott's has even all empty bottles.
And Brian,
That's a goal.
Brian, great to see you. Brian Whiting, always a pleasure, sir. Jeff Barnett, awesome to see you. Umberto, awesome, good to see you. Thank you so much. Happy 40th birthday, Autumn Kippis.
It's hard to read from where you stand.
Getting a little older.
Hesse, I think.
Yeah, Rachel, so good to see you. Thank you all for joining. Okay, let's
talk about this rosé.
Yeah, which is fantastic, by the way. 2019 Malbec Rosé. This is all fermented in concrete.
I thought it was fermented in stainless and then put in concrete.
You're right, thank you. What are you?
I've learned something through all these virtual tastings.
You just hook up with the winemaker. That's what it is. You get all the insight, don't you? You get all the inside scoop. Is that how you know this? Whoa.
We had a little feedback there.
Kelsey, what's going on? Come on.
She was trying to
Lock it up, Kels. Lock it up, Kels.
She's trying to separate.
Separate? Is that what happens? We're going to start getting a little...
Sorry.
You're going to start getting a little grabby? Or are you
She's going to throw in some interference sounds.
All right, we're back on track. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Hye Estate Malbec, guys. So this is fermented in stainless and aged a little bit in concrete. This is from the Hye Estate. I'm so sad to report that we are in process of ripping this block out, which breaks my heart. However, because we have made amazing wines like this one, I love this like one watermelon rind and fresh strawberries. I think that this is one of the most serious rosés that we produce. This in the Mauritian Hills, but one of my favorites. And this is such a food-friendly. Most of our rosés are food-friendly, but definitely one of our more food-friendly rosés. If you haven't had this with salad, and we have been enjoying. Actually, we got this right here. Hold on.
Just wait till you see this.
Oh God! So our garden, God, it's gonna be crappy because you can barely see this. Our garden is amazing. I say our garden. I want to be real frank. Katharine and I walk through the garden occasionally, but our Travis, our lead gardener, is amazing. Our team gets out there and does it. I had this for dinner last night.
So much beautiful.
Babe, these are mustard greens
Yeah.
with arugula. Were absolutely
My
fantastic.
favorite thing, look at these long beans, I think they call them.
They've been so
I'm
good.
gonna make it to my white dress. They're so long.
There's so many great seasonal vegetables out right now. Last
Okra.
night I had long beans, okra, and these mustard greens. We were at the ranch in South Texas last night.
These mustard greens are so fragrant.
You know, you should actually just like. But this
Almost.
we had some Malbec Rosé. It was out of sight. Like. And salad friendly. I tell you what, one of my favorite salads. One of my favorite salads. I have a bunch of favorite salads, but just like lemon juice, olive oil, a little dash of Dijon mustard, a little dash of honey, and like stir it up really, really, really good. A little salt and pepper, and maybe a little dash of just a dash of. Apple cider vinegar, and I would stir it really, really, really good and get it all mixed up. And I love to cut an onion and let it sit in there for like 10 or 15 minutes while you're prepping dinner, and then toss it with the salad, that and this.
Well, and soaking that onion in there takes a lot of the
Yeah, the like kind of spiciness.
strong onion flavor.
But this was salad, like, especially fresh vegetables. We have a summer squash salad too. You don't even have to cook it; just soak it in olive oil and. Cider vinegar and salt and pepper. So.
Alina asked, how do you make rosé out of 100% Malbec?
Oh, that's a great question.
How do you do that when the rest of the Malbecs are deep red? How do
So
you get this rosé?
we pick these grapes while they're a little underripe. When I say underripe, our grapes are getting to generally like 22, 23, 25, 26 bricks. That's a unit of measurement of sugar. Most of it's by flavor, but we pick these grapes for rosé just a little bit before they're ripe because we want to retain a lot of natural acidity. So we pick those grapes when they're like mostly red, but some little like slightly green grapes, and that's okay. And we pick it, and instead of de-stemming it and crushing it, we go straight to the press. It's direct press. We press this grapes so the juice doesn't have time to sit on the skins. All of these red wines, the process is a little different. We'll take the whole clusters off the grapevines, and then we'll destem those grapes, and then we'll actually let them sit on their own skins. And what's cool is the way that wine gets its color is from the skin. So all of our red wines, again, are macerated. I said macerated.
I'm glad you repeated for everyone out there.
Macerated, which means putting the color in the wine via the grape skins. And so this process goes through very little maceration. It's literally just from off the vine to the press, and that's it, which is kind of fun. So anyways, I love this wine. One of the most funky or interesting wines that I think we make. I love the aromatics on it. I mean, it's already changed and evolved in the glass too, which is pretty fun. So, all right. Well, let's keep on moving, shall we?
Yeah.
How was it with the cheese?
That was delicious. I cut 2 pieces, and one was supposed to be for you, but I
And
ate
you
them both.
ate them both. You know why?
Guilty.
Because you hate
Because you kept talking.
Oh.
You know? Talked about all this yummy food, made me hungry. Had to eat. Had to do it.
Okay.
Okay, so we pour the next wine, and the next one we're going to taste together is the Lost Straw Malbec. Let's pour it and then bring Kelsey back in to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful.
So this was farmed by Lauren and Andy Timmons and Dusty Timmons and the Lost Straw Vineyards team.
Get a load of that nose. Ooh.
So I love this wine because it's like you can smell the Lost Straw Mourvedre, you can smell the Lost Straw Malbec, you can smell the Lost Straw Tempranillo, and you get that kind of sand sage, that desert sage, and a little bit of that like kind of almost like a little touch of basil and like more sage, that herbalness that doesn't come from anywhere else in the Texas High Plains. And you could always identify that vineyard, which I so appreciate.
Lost Straw is maybe my favorite vineyard in the state. Lost Straw Morbet, everyone always asks me, what's your favorite? Lost Straw Morbet is my favorite of our wines, but this Malbec killed. Okay, so Chris talked a little bit about this wine because of the vineyard. Let's have Kelsey talk about Malbec in general and what we can just learn more about the grape.
Kelsey, teach us about Malbec.
All right, I'll do my best. So,
learn me.
What?
I said, learn me.
I'll learn you good. The things you need to know about Malbec, it is a purple shaded grape. This makes it different than other grapes. Some will be blue, some will be more ruby. If you're thinking about something like Merlot, that's a blue grape. Malbec will have a purple tint to it. And what I love is that in Malbec, you can see a magenta ring. So if you look down into your glass, you'll see that it has magenta in it. But my favorite way to look and see this is to look at it against some light above. And then you see that beautiful magenta color that really only Malbec has. It's one thing that makes it very special. The birthplace of Malbec is really tough to pinpoint. It has over 1,000 different synonyms for the name, but one of them is coat, and that has led historians of wine grapes to believe that it originated in Burgundy, and then it traveled to Bordeaux, and then it traveled to places like Argentina and Australia as well, and then up into the States. So what this means is that because the grape is well traveled, it has picked up souvenirs that are flavor compounds from everywhere that it's been domesticated. And that affects the final flavor potential of the grape. It's also very, very finicky in the vineyard. And Chris, you can probably speak to this better than I can. But what I know about Malbec is that it's susceptible to frost, and it's susceptible to disease, and it's very, very susceptible to something called coulure, which is when the grape flower, the grapevines flower, but they never bud, so they don't actually form into grapes at all. That's important to me because I know that anybody working with Malbec is working with a very tough grape. You have to have passion for the grape in order to be willing to work with it. Is that true, Chris? Is it very finicky in the vineyard?
So Malbec is one of the best grapes to grow if everything goes right. But the moment something doesn't go right, like, I don't know, it gets a little cold in the spring, or we have a little bit more rain, especially in the late summer. You're exactly right, Kelsey. This grape gets to be a real pain in the ass when the weather takes a turn for the worse. And
yeah.
I would say that that happens, 1 out of every 3 years. And we do a couple of things to manage that. Definitely, especially at Gilliam Gap in Lost Straw, we really manage the crop load. The vines are very vigorous. The soil is very fertile. So in a good year, you can ripen. The grapes the vines want to put on more crop, but we actually don't let them. In some instances of growing vines, decreasing the crop load significantly actually increases the density. We don't see that in Malbec in the high plains as much. So the difference in 2 and 4 tons per acre in Malbec in the high plains, you really don't see that big of a change. But the difference in 4 and 6 tons is incredible. So what we do is really try to get between 2 and 4 tons, maybe 4.5 tons, for a few reasons. We want to ripen quickly, because if we're rolling into the middle of September and we haven't picked Malbec, usually we get a little dash of rain, like we did this year, but we had already picked Malbec. And if you get a little dash of rain on very ripe Malbec, the results are not going to be what you want, because the Malbec skins themselves are actually pretty thin. And they're a pretty fragile grape. They're pretty bulletproof until they get very ripe, and then that's when we have issues. So
yeah, I find that so interesting. And because it's so finicky in the vineyard, when the vineyards fail, they're planted with something else instead. So Malbec could potentially become a rarity because people are not willing to work with it. But the reward is very great because it has the propensity for certain types of flavors that other grapes don't have. So if you like Merlot and Cabernet Sauvignon, you may also like Malbec because they are distantly related to each other. It doesn't mean they'll taste exactly alike, but all of those grapes have a chemical compound called pyrazine. So Malbec has the potential to show pyrazinic compounds, and that includes flavors like bell pepper or jalapeno or green pepper, and that's very good to use to certain varietals. And while we're talking about it, the flavors of Malbec, they change based on soil type and climate. The ones might be really cooler, one place might be a little bit hotter, you may have higher altitude in one place than another. You may be growing in gravel or clay or silt and sand. That will change everything. But the flavors that you can expect are flavors like currant or raspberry or plum, flavors like leather and tobacco. You can have that green bell pepper food, you can't have black pepper. And the way I like to look at it is if Malbec were a model, you can take a picture of one side of the model, but not all sides. So each of these Malbecs is a snapshot of the model Malbec. So in each of these, if you know what Malbec could potentially taste like, try and find out what has been captured in this picture versus this picture versus this picture.
Well, I'll tell you right now that back to the growing aspect of Malbec and the winemaking aspect, we will risk it and we will grow more Malbec because it is such an amazing tool in the winery. To blend, I mean, Hunter would not be Hunter without Malbec. You know, Merlot is fairly bulletproof. It's a good grape to grow. It's an easier grape to grow. But without that partnership of Malbec, that's where the fruit is. And same thing in Enchante. You know, a little dash of Malbec goes a long way when we need it. When you need that burst of fruit, and just a little bit goes such a long way. And I think that you're going to see us continuing to seek out, farm, and produce Malbec. And I love 100% Malbec, but I also love it as a blending tool. And I wish we were able to make more single vineyard Malbec, but unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, a lot of it gets blended into some of our other wines like Conqueror and Enchante and Skeleton Key as well. A lot of Malbec and Skeleton Key. So it takes care of our whole family brands. So again, this is produced by Lost Straw Vineyards, Andy and Lauren Timmons, along with their brother Dusty Timmons. Such an amazing crew. Those guys farm La Cordera Vineyards, Lost Straw, Timmons Estate, all of the above. So really great folks. I just was on the phone for an hour with Andy this morning, talking about harvest, and he's, thank God he just got done and he's off to Colorado. He's getting fishing in. So.
Lucky.
Yeah.
It's cooler here, but I bet it's real nice in Colorado.
Yeah. And Kelsey, why don't, just so you guys know, we are offering so many great extended experiences now. Kelsey, you want to talk about our library experience, our food and wine pairing?
Yeah, absolutely. So the experiences that we're offering right now, in addition to our educational experiences, which you may already be familiar with, are our food and wine pairings, which comes with 4 bites that pairs with 4 wines. So you have a way to kind of work through the food and wine pairing aspect of wine. And then we have a library experience that we have just opened up. And the library is a private room that we have in Hye Society that has a beautiful view of all the grapevines that are growing outside of our doors. And it also has all of the wines that are aging on our own estate. So if you book a library experience, you will be tasting wines from that bed. And they range from 2010 until 2015. They have never left the estate. And so we have taken care to make sure that they haven't been exposed to any bad lighting or fluctuation of temperature. So you have a lot of assurity that they are aging gracefully in our cellar. And then in addition to that, we have some experiences popping up for events like release parties where we get to be a little bit more playful. Some of those events are happening in the library as well. It's just fun.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Kelsey. I really appreciate it. We'll check in with you a little bit later, but thanks for jumping in and giving us a lesson on Malbec. Great job.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know we forgot to do?
What?
Getaway giveaway.
Getaway giveaway!
It's still happening, y'all. It's not summer anymore, but we're
Yeah.
still at getaway giveaway.
Yeah, 2 getaway
I
giveaways.
thought we would change that.
Well, we have 1 getaway giveaway, and then we're gonna change it up a little bit. We're gonna up the ante. We're gonna turn up the volume just a little bit.
I gotta get a little more of this last straw in the glass. You want some more?
Yeah, I'll take a little more.
Where's my interference sound?
Yes.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
All right.
Okay. Drum roll.
So what are
What
we-
are they gonna win?
What are you gonna win?
Summer Getaway
They're
Giveaway is the last one, because we're switching.
This is the last one of
Summer's
this
over,
time.
y'all. Summer's over.
Summer's over, so are the summer getaway giveaways. But last winner is going to win a one-night stay at the Highway House next door to us overlooking a vineyard and a picnic pack for 2 for their choice. If they don't want that, they could instead do an educational wine experience for 2. Winner's choice.
Mm-hmm.
Stay at the Highway House and 1 of 2 experiences. Who's it gonna be, Chris? Who is it?
How? Nancy
Thank you.
Thonging
Thank you.
Thonging Q. Nancy Thonging Q.
Kelsey did us a really big favor and like sounded it out, but I think maybe you made it more confusing.
I might have.
I don't know what it looks like normally.
Nancy,
Nancy,
congratulations.
Are you still here? Are you?
You got 1 minute, Nancy.
Just type in the comments.
Put your glass
It's
down.
me.
Put your bottle down, and give us a hello. Give us a shout out. If not, she's here.
Yes.
Oh, I got you. I see how your
Thank
name's
you.
really spelled.
Yeah,
Thank
here.
you, Kelsey.
Yeah,
Really
Kelsey did
appreciate
help
it.
us out. Actually.
Congratulations, Nancy.
Nancy,
Love you.
we have a hard lesson too.
Nancy, I also you have been watching a few of these, so thank you. So Jennifer says agreed. Jennifer Weineke, yeah, your last name, I know, my last name's Brenda, trust me, I know. It's not Thonging, but still, I've been called every name in the book for various reasons, but some of which because my last name's weird. So, anyways, awesome.
Anyways,
Let's keep
congratulations.
Yeah.
Okay, should we
Hey,
pour?
Big shout out to gosh my Frisco crew,
Oh, yeah.
Maurice. Oh man, I just saw. I gotta double check my notes here. Hold
Gotta get it
on.
right. Gotta get it right.
The Park Place crew. Big shout out to those guys. I know they watch us every Saturday that we're on. So hope everything's going well, guys. Maurice, I know that the Texas Aggies are going to be victorious this year against those Tigers.
Man, y'all, we haven't really talked about what's been going on in our lives except for the end of harvest. Last Saturday, this Aggie was a little jealous that all her friends' teams were playing,
Yeah.
but SEC hasn't started yet. But next Saturday, I'll be on my couch
Ooh,
watching the
right.
Aggies.
That's right.
It's not a big team next week. I can't remember. Let us know who are the Aggies playing next Saturday. It's not a huge. We're starting on ramping up.
We're ramping
It's
up.
not like
ramping up,
Alabama
ramping up.
or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited.
I hate to say I haven't been
So excited.
paying attention to Aggie football because I've been had my head down. And,
Well, I haven't been on. This will be the first game, so you have an excuse.
yeah.
You haven't been watching.
Harvest is officially over. We're back on. Man, we had a great week, guys. We did so much stuff with the kids. I feel like.
Vanderbilt. That's who it was.
Yeah, we're playing Vandy. Okay.
Thank you, Chris.
We've been, we had a great week. Our kids have been getting ready for basketball and soccer, so we have them run sprints. I say we. I have them run sprints like a drill sergeant.
And then if Chris isn't home, he asks me, "Did you make them run their sprints?"
Mm-hmm. And most of the time they do.
Most of the time, yeah.
So they run 10 sprints back and forth, but it's been so cool to watch the girls. Like, they're like seeing it get easier and over and over and over again, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And they're doing such a great job. And like, I'm so proud of our girls who are just growing in so many different ways. And I don't know, it's so cool to watch them like set out to go do something and then accomplish it and, kind of get to that next level, and it's pretty exciting. And I think they're proud of themselves too.
It was really fun. The other day we went on a family run.
Yeah,
It was a fun. And then Chris and I were super sore the next day, not from the run, but we went to a park.
Like
and
idiots. This is what we did. Is so dumb.
The park, so it has a playground, but they took the swings off the swing set because of COVID. They don't want people on the swings. So it's just the frame of the swing set, and on the corner, there's the triangle. And so June told us at her school, it's the same thing. They don't have swings, but they still use the swing set, and they
So all the kids can't touch the
up.
swings, but they all climb and like.
Yeah, they climb up the bars of the swing set. So they go up the triangle to the top, and then go drop
They
down.
like shimmy and you swing your hips.
So
Not cool when you're 36.
June did it, and we were like, I thought, that looks really challenging, but I can do it too. So I went like 2 up, and I dropped. It's like, that is rough. Chris tried, agreed, really, really hard.
I'm
We
into
have
the
a lot
top.
more body weight than our 9-year-old. But then we tried again, and I think I did it on the next one.
Yeah, you made it to
The
the top.
second time I got it all the way, I guess yours was
We
third
thought
time.
we were hot shit, basically. We're just like showing our kids how awesome we are. And then the next morning I woke up
Still
and I was
sore.
like,
Still sore.
and I was like, I don't know what I did. And Katharine was like, you don't remember last night we were with our kids?
We climbed
Yeah.
the swing set.
So just, I mean, I know we're not that old, but still old enough to know that we shouldn't be climbing on the swing sets.
I think honestly we should be doing it more often. That's that's the problem. We're out of shape. We should do it all the
That's right. You're
time.
probably right. It was a great week with the kids, to say the least. We've been also doing high, low, and what you know, which has been a really
I
fun.
think we've talked about that.
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, it's been really great with the kids. I don't know, just little dumb stuff that just seems to like coax out the best, and it's always good to talk about that stuff. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
Okay, what next is
Whoa! By the way, the Rutledges that are, I hope you're watching. Happy anniversary! It doesn't say what anniversary it is, but I'm sure it's a great one.
Okay, next up we're pouring the 17 Gilliam Gap Malbec. You're not going to use your third glass?
Nope, I'm going like
You know what?
I'm OG.
But
I'm OG.
I'm actually going to put a little bit more of the Lost Straw in case I want to go back
I'm
and
going no
smell.
on Saturday.
I know, but don't you want to compare?
Yeah, I will. I just.
Don't get them out of order. Okay. Y'all be careful. If you are doing what we're doing with 4 glasses, these bottles look similar. Don't get them confused.
So again, all these red wines are 2017. So you're getting the same vintage, right? But this is grown about 20 miles north of Lost Straw Vineyards in Ropes, Texas, or actually Ropesville, Texas. But if you're from the area, you call it Ropes. And our dear friend Dusty Gilliam and his bride. This is about 3.5 acres. Really great Malbec. Great story about this guy.
Hold on. Happy birthday, Jeff Conley. Continue.
Thank you. Yeah, happy birthday, Jeff. But we were up in the High Plains. This is about 10 years ago, and I asked Bill. I said, "Hey, would you come look at this farm with me? I really want your opinion on it. I like this guy a lot, and I've seen his farm once. I want you to go see it. I think we want to contract it, and not that it's not a big deal now, but 3-acre commitment back 10 years ago was like a really, really, really big deal for our company. That's a significant amount of fruit for our company. And, long story short, I was like, hey, Bill, can you come look at this? I need your advice. And we got in there, and like him and Dusty Gilliam just hit it off perfect. And when we left, Bill just had this big grin on his face. And I said, what's that, buddy? And he's like, I grew up right there. And he almost like got a little teary, and he's just like, yeah, pointing. It's like 3 pastures over. Well, we actually went down to another cabin here, and it's all in that area. And it was just so cool to see where one of my best friends and partners grew up. And this vineyard has been just a huge part of our portfolio. Sometimes it goes into Hunter a little bit. And we've always done a single vineyard Malbec. Dusty has been an awesome farmer for us. He's got hail netting up now. He had a rough go of it at the very beginning. He got hailed out a couple of times. And needless to say, this is some of the most interesting fruit that we farm, that we buy. and he's such an exceptional grower. He's also happens to be the vineyard manager for Buena Suerte for the Day family. So you get obviously a lot of influence. He's a really good farmer. So he farms Buena Suerte, which we get more Mourvedre from, and then also some Moscato Giallo that goes into our Mary Ruth. It's all from Buena Suerte.
Happy almost anniversary, Jennifer. 8 years on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And Brian said that this seems richer and dirtier to him than the last, and I definitely agree, especially on the dirty part.
Well, I think it's got this like kind of flintiness, and it's a little bit more tannic.
It's got that edge to it. It kind of reminds me of like the rosé that was in the concrete. This has the flintiness. That kind of reminds me of that.
Absolutely, but really delicious. And what's crazy is 20 miles apart and farmed very, very similarly. I bet they were picked 3 days of each other, 2 days from each other.
Did you already talk about are there soil differences between the two?
So there's a little bit more iron the farther north you go.
And is this one further north?
And yes, and
Okay,
a little
so
bit more
that
clay.
gives you that flinty, maybe, right, from the iron? Is that, in my head, that makes sense. You
I
tell me
mean,
if that
I'm
makes
sure
sense.
that's something to do with it, for sure.
Looks like we got a question, Kelsey's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris asked, are you guys getting vanilla notes on this,
Mhm.
on this one?
Absolutely, and that vanilla is part of the barrel, right? But that's something that you're getting a compliment. It's a secondary note from the barrel. I'll show you a really cool trick. You can once you're done drinking your wine, okay, you can take your glass and you can put it upside down, and then just fling it all.
I'm wearing a
over
white
the place.
dress here, babe.
Basically,
You can't
just
Look
take
at
it.
this. Look at this, like, wine he's spraying all over. White dress.
Hey, it's don't hate to play, hate the game. So
Wish
just
you
give
would
it a
have
little
warned me
swirl,
of your game.
and you can smell the glass. Smell the empty glass.
And that's what the barrel smells like?
Those are the barrel notes that you're getting.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that is a neat trick.
Yeah, so we use that, and it's not 100% perfect all the time, but it's kind of an interesting. Yeah, I'm
It's
sorry.
such a mess.
I flung one all over the place. It's because of these high quality Gabriel glasses
Really
that
cool
we're using.
trick, though, actually. I mean, all these years, you've never shown me that trick before. Been holding out.
Just wait, baby. I'll show you the trick. I'll show you lots more tricks. Anyway, getting back to wine.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so we were gonna have Kelsey talk about this one too a little bit, or not necessarily about this one, but more Malbec in general.
Mhm.
And are we confident with our audio, Kelsey? We had some gargle issues.
Yes.
That's what it sounded to me. It sounds like a lot of our viewers did too.
Cool.
Oh, thank you, Beth. You're so sweet.
Well, let's.
We have a question for Kelsey. Are we confident? Oh, wait, she's saying, hey, Kelsey, you're back. Somebody had a question for you. What's the best grilled cheese sandwich?
Kelsey, I think you're on mute. Either that or we're muted.
Oh.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, and it's smoother than before. Yay.
So there was a question about grilled cheese sandwiches.
What kind of grilled cheese would you pair with the Gilliam Gap Malbec?
Oh my gosh,
Any kind? Any kind?
that's a great question. So Gilliam Gap said is very earthy, very, very powerful, and it has vanilla notes. So I would pair something powerful that has a little bit of age on it, because when you get those, I call them salt crystals, but I think they're called something else. But you get crystals as the cheese ages, and those bring out the fruit in the wine. So I would go with something aged like a gouda that might stay a little bit crunchy and crumble and melt a little bit, and then the fruit will come out in the wine. But you have enough power in the wine to back the power in the cheese.
I'm reminded of if you ever go to Marfa about midnight, there's this really funky, weird place called the Museum of Scientific Wonders.
I don't know what it's like.
No,
a
the
really-
Museum of Electronic Wonders,
Yeah.
and it's open from like midnight to 4 or something crazy like that, and they have the most incredible gooey grilled cheeses. It's just an assortment of grilled cheese
Yeah, they have a
sandwiches.
lot of different options.
I think we got the one called, I think it's called an MFer. Like,
I hope they're still open. This was years ago.
But one of the most incredible, it had gouda, blue cheese, brie, all this
I
stuff.
think it had a vegetable or two in there too.
On
So
the
good.
giant mac. I want to go to Marfa right now to eat that, like the
Road trip.
yeah.
Bring that wine because the blue cheese with this would be amazing also. It has low enough tannin and high enough acidity, I think, that it would just be stellar. The earthiness with the earthiness and what crystals of Gouda bringing out the fruit flavors in the wine, that sounds good.
Well, I tell you what, this cheese on our cheese plate is spot on.
Pretty delicious.
I'm eating a soft cheese with the Gilliam Gap, and it's actually really good because the soft cheese is very powerful. And if you find up, it just changes everything about it. And I'm loving pairing the Gilliam Gap with the Lost Draw. They're so different to each other. And you said they're 20 miles apart.
Yeah,
20 miles?
20 minutes. Yeah,
20
probably
minutes?
a little bit more than that. Hey,
As the full price.
stupid question.
Such a big difference. Okay, what's your stupid question?
You're a wine nerd. You'll know the answer to this. I'm a wine nerd too. Sorry for slowing that down. Okay, I've seen D do this a few times, and tell me if this is dumb or not.
Have both nostrils?
Besides, you look like an idiot.
It looks a little
Yeah,
dumb.
I hope you realize this is an inside joke, Leah. I hope you know what I just did there, but.
I don't understand how you can smell them both at the same time. Oh, now Kelsey's doing it.
I guess the idea would be that your nostril would pick up one thing with one and another with the other, but I think I have a dominant nostril.
Oh, well then we'll have to. Oh my gosh.
Hey guys, switch them.
I was asked this the other day, does everybody have a dominant nostril? And I think I smell better with my right, but maybe it's because I'm right-handed. So if it works, do it. There's no right or wrong to wine tasting. If it works for you, then you're doing it right.
I'm gonna. That's gonna be a get to know you question, like the second or third question. I usually ask somebody like, hey, you know, somebody like, what do you do? You know, and I said I'll go like, what do you do for fun?
I definitely think I do smell better.
So what's your dominant nostril?
Yeah, I played around with it the other day because I was asked that question. It was one of the weirdest things I've done lately. So what I like to do is, instead of that, because I haven't really played around with that exercise yet, take the glass, and if I have a nice crystal glass, I will smell it at different points on the rim because the aromas hit in different points of the glass. So I'll smell in the center, and then I'll put my nose down, and then I'll put my nose up, and then to the side, and then to the side again.
Oh, it does change it.
It'll change, but also each
Whoa, Kelsey.
place.
I've been in wine for almost since 2015, 16 for money. No.
For money?
I've been like, or no, 2005.
Yeah, 5. I was like,
I'm sorry to say, I've been a professional wine person for a long time, and that is the first time I've ever heard you like change my perspective right there.
mind blown.
Smell at the middle.
The personality of the wine. If one wants to hit you straight on, it's a very forward wine. And if one of them is like sneaking around the edges, that's a very subtle, sultry wine. And I love that.
They're not going to
Holy
hate
shit, that's
you
crazy.
now.
I hope you guys watching just understand the significance, not the significance that I just didn't know that, but I mean, like, that is such a cool thing. I never.
That's huge.
And I will say that when I smell the Gilliam Gap on this side of my nose, I get the vanilla. And then when I do the other side, I don't as much. I get the fruit of the wine. So even one side, the other is pushing it out differently. And that is the winemaking. You know, what you have done to the grape, what Tony, our head winemaker, has done to the grape, in the glass, and how it pushes all.
Mm-hmm.
We look super goofy doing this side by side. Oh, Noah's taking screenshots.
Watch us without sound.
Leah just had a good question. Why does Malbec do well in Texas when And how does that compare to Argentina and France and the other places it grows?
That is a great question, and it brings me to my slideshow.
Woohoo!
It all has to do with soil and climate. First of all, Malbec needs full heat and full sun to ripen. Without that, it won't ripen fully, and it'll be too hard to astringent. So the picture I have on the screen is of 3 types of soil, and keep in mind that there are many, many more than one. But the ones on the screen are clay, silt, and sand. So each one of those will cause the grape to release different flavors, and it all has to do with how the root systems grow into the ground. So for something like sand, the water drains very deep, and so the roots really, really reach down, and they're very, very fine roots. So you might have more delicacy in that line, more than. And then in something like clay that retains water really, really well, you have shorter roots and the power of the wine. And then on top of these 3 combinations of soil, you can have different combinations. So a little bit of silt and a little bit of clay. So then you have a little bit of peach. And then you can have iron-rich soil or nitrogen-rich soil. And that affects the nutrients that the roots are pulling up from the soil. So what all of this means is that there is no way to predict what the grape is going to taste like eventually. All you can do is be surprised. And this is important to Texas, and hopefully if you'll go to the next slide, is because Texas is so large and so diverse, you can actually see a snapshot of Texas soil across all of Texas with completely different colors. That alone shows you how different Malbec can be from one place to another. Also, and think about Argentinian Malbec. Argentina has some pretty high altitude. You have between 3,000 to 5,000 feet above sea level. And Argentinians are really playing with that altitude. Texas has that as well. Within the Panhandle, and especially places like Gilliam Gap, they have a high enough altitude to make something totally different than at Lost Rock or a place like Hye Estate. So it's all about the diversity, the heat, and the exposure to the sun. And there are many more factors that go into that. Specifically at Hye Estate, the soil is very nitrogen because of the turkeys that used to live here. It makes Texas so unique. So looking at this picture, see how diverse that soil is? That doesn't happen everywhere. So Texas has a lot of playground and playing. And that's what's going to make Texas special.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, thank you, Kelsey. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that Argentina and Texas have some stuff in common, like elevation. I know that we're one of the, like Argentina, we're one of the highest elevations in the high plains for wine growing in the world, which is pretty exciting. So let's keep on moving. Let's.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Yeah, thank you, Kelsey. Great job.
And cheers.
Cheers. Let's move straight into the Hye Estate.
Okay, so we're leaving. So we started at the Hye Estate. We're going to end the Hye Estate. The middle 2 were all high plains. Obviously, Hye Estate is hill country where we are right now. Going full circle. Oh, and it's amazing. You guys, how different are all 3 of these red Malbecs? Oh my gosh.
Lots of blue fruit.
Golly.
Super delicious.
Yum.
So this is a little bit different in that it's grown all in the Pedernales River Valley, which I know you guys have you've been over and over. Sandy loam or limestone, which is pretty interesting. These were machine harvested and destemmed immediately and in tank immediately, like within an hour, and fermented in large oak fermenters, which is pretty delicious, and then aged in 18 months aged 18 months in mostly neutral oak, just a little bit of new French oak on this as well. Yeah, totally different.
It blows my mind every time I do any kind of isn't called a vertical, but just comparison. What do you call this kind of
Comparative tasting, sure.
Comparative
You're
tasting.
exactly
There
right.
you go. It just blows my mind how different. Same winemaker, same variety, same year, how different they can be.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely. And
Awesome.
you know what, guys? I encourage you, like, doing more. Like, I love drinking wine with my friends, and we are really good at it, right? As in,
We're
boom,
good
we'll open a
at,
bunch of bottles, boom, 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 boom.
I'm good at drinking wine for sure.
But I think it's so interesting to understand, you get different growers all around here. Bill Blackman and Evan and Andy and our vineyard management team did all the Hye Estate Rosé. You're also getting Hye Estate Malbecs. You're also getting different personalities with Dusty Gilliam. And I meant to tell you guys, it's Gilliam, not Gilliam, even though it's spelled like William.
Did I say Gilliam? Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do say that. You're right. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I realized to do it.
You got it.
There's some cheese on me.
Yeah, I got some cheese on me with that. No cheese lip.
I couldn't. That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, that sounds gross. I can't gross myself
Don't
out.
say that again.
But you're getting kind of different personalities in different areas. And I tell you what, the influence of the vineyard manager is significant as well. So, you know, I think that definitely has an impact. But what I think is cool is you're getting different regions of the state, all in the same vintage, and you're getting very similar winemaking techniques. But I would encourage you, like, when you're drinking wine with your friends and your family, like, go into them just a little bit more. Like, stop and just talk about them, ask each other questions, start getting, if you get just a little uncomfortable and say what you're smelling, there's no wrong answers, and then kind of ask leading questions or ask interrogating questions that really get at it. And that's something that Katharine and I have absolutely brings us together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a husband and wife or as partners, it's been really cool to journey with wine, and it's such a fun hobby to do. I've been trying to get her to golf for a long time, and she's just like, no, I've got a beautiful golf club. She hasn't. She's used them once.
Y'all, when you have little children
I agree.
and you work, and he works all the time,
Mhm.
it's a lot easier to find time to get into wine at 9 p.m. when the kids
Yeah.
are asleep than it is to go golf.
But I will
One
say,
day when we're retired and the kids leave the house, we'll golf.
but what
Not have time right now.
intention is really about is, you know, yes, we are drinking, we're getting loose, having a great time, but thinking about all the effort, all the people that went into this glass of wine, and really smelling and understanding the differences is so much fun. And even if you're great at it, I encourage you to put your best foot forward and start, like, checking it out and thinking about it just a little bit more. Doesn't mean you have to have a whole educational seminar, you know, for an hour and a half every time you drink a bottle of wine. But just do a little research, like click online. Most wineries, and I hope you never drink anything but William Chris wine. No, that's not true. I hope you drink wines in the world, but you know, most wines across the world have a lot of information available, and like learn about the region and travel and start to understand and get to meet winemakers and get to meet wine growers, because it is one of the coolest things. Just like whenever you eat something, you eat a vegetable and understand, like, think about where that food comes from, because I promise you, if we have just a little bit more intention with what we do, with how we spend our money and how we choose, like, spend our time, thinking about how grateful we are for all the great things we have in our life. Like, wine could be one of them, but great food, all the time and passion that restaurateurs or chefs spend on growing and making food, like, it just makes life so much more valuable, in my opinion, and so much more gratifying, to say the least. So I don't know. I think it's such a cool thing, and I hope you guys, if this can encourage you to spend a little bit more time on where your food and wine comes from, then I think we won, and internally we'll make the world a better place.
I think to touch more, to kind of backtrack on what you're talking about thinking about the wine you're drinking, it's so easy to pop open a bottle with your spouse, with your girlfriends, whoever, and you're just like, oh yeah, I like this. And then that's all you ever think, as I like it.
Mhm.
But if you take just 3 minutes more to think about, why do I like this?
Right.
Where did this come from? What year was this? And then maybe, every little bit you think about it can build up to a lot more knowledge in the long run. And that makes wine more fun. The more you know, the more you can enjoy the
Yeah,
differences.
absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Well, babe, I tell you what, I love you because our wine journey has been pretty amazing up to this point.
Well,
So,
Yeah.
pretty
Considering
incredible.
we got together before either of us drank wine, or before I drank it all.
I was drinking Boone's Farm.
That was my first wine, so
Really?
the blue one, I'm sure.
Where was that game we used to play when we were kids? Cannonball Don't Care. It was the dumbest game ever. We'd just drink a little wine and be like, Cannonball Don't Care. And just,
I don't.
play
No,
that?
I never played that.
No,
That must have been before me.
Okay.
I don't
Moving
think
right
I've
along.
heard of Cannonball Don't Care. Hope you're teenagers are not in the room.
So, Hye Estate, Malbec, absolutely delicious.
Again, I hope you guys were able to get 4 glasses, or at least 3. It is insane the difference between these 3. Everyone on the comments keeps saying which one their favorite is, or they can't decide. And Chris hates picking favorites, and I just don't think I can this time.
God, where is that? Your sense of smell is one of the most memory triggering things.
Which one are you smelling?
I'm smelling the
Gilliam?
the Lost Drop.
Lost Draw. I said Gilliam again. Sorry, Gilliam. Okay, you're smelling Lost Draw. What is
And
it
I kind of get
triggering?
this like Fig Newton aspect that I absolutely love.
Oh, yeah, I totally
Yeah.
get you.
That's it.
I love a fig
I know,
Newton.
me too. Yeah, it just like made me smile because
That's so random.
it reminded me of my
Did not get
grandfather.
that the first time around.
I didn't either. And what's so cool is these wines evolve in the glass. And what's really cool about living, breathing wine, like these wines are very either unfiltered or very, very lightly filtered. There's hardly any sulfites in these wines. And it's grapes and sometimes not even yeast or minimal sulfites and just a small amount of yeast. But other than that, you're getting what is this living, breathing thing, and that changes in the glass. And one of the greatest compliments that we can receive is some folks that say, man, I love the first, my wife and I, we poured a glass, we absolutely loved it. And then we had the second glass, and I don't know what just happened, but, like magic is in the air. And, it really is as wines evolve in the glass. Kelsey, we got a question.
Yeah, someone asked if you could talk a little bit, since these are all 2017 Malbecs, if you could kind of just talk about the year. I know we talked about the year 2017 a lot, but just the characteristics of 2017 and
Sure.
Talk about this.
So think about
17
like 2020. If you had to say, hey, how was your 2020?
People will have some words
Like
for
in
2020. That may be
30 years from now, say, hey, do you remember 2020? And you said, yeah, it was super shitty, right? 2017 was the polar opposite of that. It's like other end of the spectrum, like everything lined up. If you could write out a perfect vintage, 2017 would be it, especially in the high plains. We had a little thing called a hurricane come through almost right after we got done picking almost everything in the hill country. There was a couple of blocks that got caught in some of the hurricane rains, but almost everything was out of the hill country. And what was really cool is that hurricane shoved a bunch of that pressure up and fought off everything that was coming from the Rockies. So we had no rain in the high plains, and it was just awesome. We had this really moderate summer and really moderate kind of going into fall, and we were picking into first week of October, and I mean we just made some incredible wines we grew some incredible wines in 2017. It was definitely one of the most memorable vintages I've ever been around. So really, really cool stuff. That being said, the Hye Estate was out before any of the rain came. So you got just a bang up vintage all the way around. We had a nice wet spring. and then it was super dry. So
Which is what you want when you're.
yeah, you don't want
Harvest.
rain. We want to be able to control. Well, you don't want rain during harvest. We want a lot of spring rain, but not a lot of fall and late summer rain. That's always bad for us.
Pretty much you want to be able to control your moisture and the
Yeah.
amount of water your grapes get. So we water on demand, but obviously we can't control the rain. So we just don't want it to rain so we can control it.
Okay, let's keep on moving, guys. Man, I've had a blast today. I really appreciate you guys all hanging on. We have another giveaway.
No, we're gonna do the other
A
experience.
giveaway.
Yeah, it's a giveaway, not a getaway giveaway.
Yes.
Different giveaway.
That's pretty cool. So,
Mhm. But before we do that, let's talk about our next tasting we're gonna do. Now, like we said earlier, we're fully open. We got a tasting room full of people down there. It's super exciting. So we're doing less than we used to. We used to do every single week. We're taking every other week now. So our next one's gonna be October 3rd, which you can't believe in 2 weeks it's gonna be October. This year hasn't been great, but it sure has flown by. So we wanna talk about,
you know what? Before we
oh,
keep on moving,
okay.
I think it's tough. This year has been great in a lot of ways.
That's
It's
true.
been tough in a
That's
lot of
true.
ways,
Mhm.
but I think it's been great in a lot of ways. So I hope you guys look at it that way too. It hasn't been great in a lot of ways, but you know what? It has been great. It's taught me a lot for sure. I think it's taught all of us. It's definitely given me a lot of gratitude for what we got, and I appreciate the things that have happened
Yeah.
quite a bit.
A lot of good lessons to be learned. They
Mhm.
were hard learned, hard won. What's the phrase? Hard won or hard?
Easy decisions, hard life.
No, that's not what I'm going for, but
They're hard fought.
that's not what I did either, but
Okay.
anyway.
So coming up, we've got first of all the code. For those of you watching, you're going to get a little gift. A code called TANNAT. TANNAT.
And that's a clue to what we're going to be focusing on.
That's
Today
our
was
code.
Malbec. Next time we're going to focus on TANNAT.
The first 100 people that enter in the code TANNAT into this virtual tasting get $20 off.
And we
There's your
say
gift.
there's not even 100. Well, anyway, take your time. Look for that promo code box. Use the code. It's $20 off. Totally worth that seconds it takes to find it. The first one of our lineup in 2 weeks is actually not TANNAT because we didn't want all reds. We don't have a rosé TANNAT, so
2019 Rosé. Got a little dash of pickle, a little dash of Marsan. Absolutely phenomenal wine. You know, the other night we had a baby shower for Andy, one of our
yes.
vineyard leaders,
Mhm.
and I think I drank half a bottle of this myself.
It's delicious.
I just kept on drinking
So
it. It was so good. And you know what? What's cool about this wine? It's great in the fridge, but let it warm up. It's so good, especially as it warms up, and really, really fun to drink. So, are you serious? This is maybe one of the top 10 wines we've ever made. 2017 Timmins TANNAT. Wow. This wine is delicious. The 2018 we're about to bottle too. That's delicious. This is a smoke show wine, 2017 Timmins TANNAT. That's from Andy's house.
If you're already on there clicking to purchase, don't forget, this is a 4-bottle pack. If you add 2 more bottles, shipping's on us. So add your 2 more, pick your 2 favorites from tonight, your 2 favorites of all time, add 2 more. Next, this is out of order. Just look at the bottle.
Yeah. So this is 120. How much is this?
It's 120 unless you use that code,
That's
and then it's only 100.
okay.
And then if you add 2 more, you don't have to
I'm
pay
gonna have a
shipping.
talk with Anthony because this should cost more.
TANNAT's one
If
of
you don't
our
buy this, it's I'm gonna buy it all.
TANNAT's one of our most valuable bottles typically. So
It's
this
a
is an insane value.
2017 Hye Estate TANNAT. I think that bottle right now is like $60 or $50.
I couldn't tell you, but at least.
Yeah.
At least.
And then we've got Hye TANNAT, which is I'm actually a little speechless. I'm sorry. I just came in from the ranch. I was in South Texas until like I went yesterday
He
afternoon
was there
after
for
lunch.
not even 24 hours.
Yeah, and I came back to find us just giving this wine away. Wow,
Giving it away, and
that is a great deal. You should tell your friends right now. You should buy 2 of these.
Did you
by the
even
way.
say the year this lady is 2015?
2015 late tonight. So yeah, that's smoking deal, guys. Like an absolute smoking deal. You should enter in the code like 5 times is what I would do. Actually,
It doesn't work
leave
that
some for
way,
everybody
but
else. Okay.
you can only put it in once. But good thing
I don't know. I bet there's some people that will try it.
they
So,
might try none of
um,
these.
Wow. Guys, thanks so much. I know I say this every time, but like our family, our tribe, our William Chris Wine Company tribe would not be here without you. And you make a difference in our lives every day. And I know look, I know it's small that you guys are just, signing on for an hour, or you may think it's small. It's absolutely huge to us. It's so incredibly significant that you guys are all signing on, listening and watching and enjoying our wines. It makes such a difference in 69 families' lives. You're incredible, and we really appreciate it. So thank you from the bottom of our heart, because we couldn't do it without you.
We got
we
that giveaway.
One more giveaway.
What are they going to win?
Well,
Chris?
yeah. So first of all, you're going to get a night at the Highway House. Is that correct?
No, it's
Oh, never mind. You're getting something way
not
cooler
a
than that.
giveaway. It's a normal giveaway.
So you're getting a library experience for 4 people.
And this is the first time we've ever given this away. It's a very new experience.
Hey, Kelsey, how much is that if you just bought it regular?
For one person.
It's 75.
One
It's
person is a
$75.
$75 experience. So, this
So you're
is
getting
for
4 of those. And
So
we
you
are
do the
gonna
math.
give that away right now. Get in the fishbowl.
It's awesome experience, y'all. Dusty Jansen, or maybe Jansen, depending on where you're from.
Dusty Jansen,
Dusty,
congratulations.
are you still here?
If you're not here in the next minute, we're gonna go to the next person.
On the next person. Y'all, this library experience is amazing. The back room of the building we're in is one whole wall is old vintages of our wine. And what we do is we literally pull old vintages down and we pour in tastings out of them. And it's amazing. You can really taste how wines develop over the years.
It's 68 degrees in there, or 67 degrees in there all the
Very
time.
in-depth learning, educational experience with some tasting along with it. It's awesome.
TikTok, Dusty.
He's here.
He's here.
here.
Yay!
Congratulations,
Oh,
Dusty.
yay! And we said, woo woo. Woo woo to you. Congrats.
Congratulations. Guys, thank you again. Thank you on behalf of all 69 of us, excuse me. We really appreciate you very, very much. Shout out to all you guys that are watching. By the way, Joel Pfizer, how you doing? Thank you so much for checking in with us. Elaine, thank you. Brian, so good to see you again. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Christine, thank you. Or Christy, thank
Crystal. I guess that's Crystal.
you. It is Crystal, sorry. Love you.
Yeah.
Till next time.
See y'all on the 3rd.
Yeah, share this wine with all your friends. Tell them to join us for the next virtual tasting in 2 weeks. Love you. Out.
Cheers.